Who's running your life anyway? Welcome to Sobriety Snippets for Women Over 40, where we elevate our mindset to trade hangovers for higher consciousness, one powerful snippet at a time. I'm Becca Jacobson. It's a midweek snippet time, gals, and we're on a beautiful theme this week. We're talking about tiny shifts. That's right, tiny shifts that change everything. Yeah, everything. That's what I said. We talked about it Monday. Like, really? Everything, Becca? Yeah, seriously, gal, seriously. So briefly, for those of you who may have missed Monday, you could just go back and listen to it. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Or this week on Tiny Shifts, on Monday, we talked about just noticing, just being aware of how we're responding in the world, how we're feeling in any given moment, when we're being the bitch from hell, when we're being just a little bit of a bitch, when we're irritated, when we're sad. When we're feeling happy, we notice. When we're tempted by the voice of alcohol, we notice that. Noticing, that really is a tiny shift that can change everything because it starts us on the road to self-awareness. And my dears, the road to self-awareness leads to more and more and more freedom. In fact, it leads to higher and higher levels of consciousness or states of being, which was last week's conversation. So Monday, we're noticing, and that was it, right? I didn't get you to pull out your journal. I didn't get you to do anything else. Just start noticing what's going on with compassion and patience. We must be patient with ourselves. Today, we're going to take it one step further. I'm going to give you another tiny shift that can literally change everything. But before I do, hey, welcome back to Snippet Land. And if you're new here, hello, my dear, welcome home. I'm so excited you found the snippets, which live right in the heart of what we call Snippet Land. And that is everything snippets. That includes a YouTube channel, it includes a sober living letters, and all sorts of goodies that I deliver out to the gals who hang around in Snippet Land. That's where you've landed. If you're over 40, you're struggling with alcohol, probably nobody even knows or very few people because you've got the rest of your life all together, you know, that struggle, then you're in the right place, my dear. And I'm so happy you found us. All right, today's shift it's a powerful one. I love this shift. And actually, I'm going to be talking more about this shift this weekend on Sunday. I've decided, hello, pop-up surprise, I've decided to do a masterclass this Sunday, May 10th. But I'll talk about that more in a moment. Right now, we are talking today about recognizing the voice. Now, let's talk about this voice. Gals, back in 2018, that's when my life basically fell apart to the point where I was finally catapulted into, I guess, sobriety. I went kicking and screaming because I was so afraid and all of that stuff. But here's the thing. When I arrived into what would turn out to be my last try at sobriety, because I'm still here, still in Soberland 8 years later, but when I got there, I was like a slave or like someone who'd been hypnotized. And there was a voice in my head that would say, you need a drink. And the only response I ever had to it was, yes, I do. You got that right. Or where's the nearest liquor store? Or open the bottle or hand it over, right? That voice, which had lived inside of me all of my life, ran the show. It was the boss of me, of all areas of my life. If I could have fought that voice, I wouldn't have had to struggle for over 30 years. Today, I want to talk to you about the fact that it is a voice. You see, in 2018, I didn't know it was a voice. Here it is. You ready for it, gals? Pay attention. You in the back, pay attention. Here's the thing you need to know about the voice. It's not you. It is not you. And it wasn't me. That was such a revelation for me when someone said, you know, that voice in your head, it's not you. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not me? Yeah, it knows me and it knows when I need a drink. And it's the one that beats me up the next morning and tells me it's never going to drink. It's that voice. You know, that voice? They're like, no, it's not you. That took me aback. That really surprised me, and I had to sit with that for quite a while and pay attention and think about it and let time pass because 'cause I'm stubborn and I'm slow in those early days. You're not feeling too great in early sobriety, so it didn't land or make any drastic changes for me in the first moment I heard it, but it ultimately ended up being something that took me a long, long way, all the way to today. That voice, and I know you know what voice I'm talking about. I'm talking about the voice that says, just one, or it's been a long day, or we'll start tomorrow, or you deserve this. You know the voice. Tomorrow will be different. It says a lot of things. It's ironically the same voice that says the next morning, "You idiot, you weren't gonna drink last night." It's not a nice voice. It says, "Drink." It says, "Oh, you idiot, you drank. What were you thinking?" You know that voice? Come closer, my dear. That voice is not you. In fact, if you can hear it, it's not you. It can't be you because 'cause you're hearing it. So that's the message today. What do we do with this voice right now, my dears? Nothing. I just want you to hear that idea. I want you to let that land. Please spend some time with it today. Meaning, remember, I said tiny shifts, so you don't have to start going out and journaling about it and spending a whole I just want you thinking about it. I just want you to let it roll around in your mind for a while and notice it and ask yourself, well, is that me? Because remember, Monday was noticing. Today is paying attention to the fact that there is a voice and it's not you. It's not you. See if you can feel how it's separate from you and what it feels like and how it's different from you. I mean, the real you, the inner you, the you that listens to the snippets, because that voice is not a snippet lover. I'll tell you that much. Pay attention, spend some time with it, roll this around in your mind. That's a tiny shift. We got to think anyway. We're always thinking, so we might as well think something productive. Think about the voice and watch for it, notice it. And on Friday, I am going to teach you how to avoid following the voice, how to stop following the voice. In fact, if we could do that, wouldn't the problem be solved? If the voice says you need a drink and you're able to stand there and go, no, I don't. Thank you very much, but wouldn't that solve this whole problem? Well, yeah, it would, wouldn't it? If only it was that simple. The truth is, gals, it is and it isn't that simple. And I'm going to talk deeply about that on Friday. I promise I'm not going to leave you hanging. But not only that, I've decided this idea, the idea of a voice that is not us, the idea that it is a voice that drags us into the pit of hell every time we drink against our will. I've decided I'm going to teach that live in a class this Sunday, May 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's a free class. You're invited. We are going to talk about this voice. I'm going to help you recognize it, name it, get to know it, and start to take your own consciousness back. It's been hijacked. This is going to be a very powerful class. It's called, what else? The Voice of Alcohol. This class is for those of you who wake up and just think, I can't believe I did it again. Or you're shocked. How did I go from I won't drink to right back here? For those of you who tell yourself this has to stop, but I've said that so many times before. Remember that one? My dear, if you're starting to lose trust in yourself, this is for you. And what about that quiet fear about the future? We are in a stage of our lives that ought to be the best, the absolute best chapter of our lives, the happiest, the freest, the wisest, the healthiest. And that's really the goal that I have for all of the gals here in Snippet Land. You've heard me say it a lot, that what I want us to do is make this the best chapter of our lives. And so if you have a voice that's quietly terrified about the future because of alcohol, this class is for you. If you're emotionally and mentally exhausted, this class is for you. If you're wondering, will this ever actually change, meaning you've tried many, many times like I had, then this class is for you. By the end of the 90-minute session, you won't have everything figured out. And that's good because we don't need a big, heavy session. You will, however, have something you may not have felt in a long, long time. And that will be a sense of hope that this might actually be possible for you. In fact, That's my goal in the class. That's why I'm going to show up this Sunday, May 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern, and fling the doors open for you gals here in Snippet Land so we can spend some time together. I want to give you that. I want to give you a sense of hope that this might actually be possible for you. I know that there's a lot of you out there struggling on the edge, wanting to get to this side of an alcohol-free life. And that is where I lived all those years, on that edge, meaning drink, don't drink, drink, don't drink, try to stop, fail. That edge where we live for years, and it is nothing short of torture. It is actually hell on earth, and it is not living our lives. And yet there we are, trapped there. That was me, and I know that's many of you. And so this Sunday, free of charge, 7 p.m. Eastern, come and join me for a 90-minute masterclass called The Voice of Alcohol. You'll find the link to that in the show notes. But if you're one of my gals who doesn't know how to find the show notes, I get it. We're not exactly digital natives, are we? Just send me an email at beccajacobson.com, and I'll send you back all the information you need to come and join us. That's Becca at beccajacobson.com. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back next time so I can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.